शांति ओम शांति। आज एक तो शुक्रवार है।
Today is Friday.
सभी के दिलों में क्या है?
So what is in the heart of each one?
बाबा आ रहा है।
Today Baba is coming.
दुनिया वाले जिसको पुकारती है,
The one who has been called by the world, that our Baba comes to meet us.
इतना प्यार,
So much of love,
फिर इतना रिगार्ड,
and then so much of regard.
बच्चे हैं तो बाबा के साथ बहुत प्यार है।
Because there are the children, they have a lot of love for the Father. And when they become old, they have regard for the Father. This is that Father who makes you so worthy.
क्या से क्या?
From what you were and what you have become. Today, Papa has said,
फोटो होना चाहिए।
you should have a photograph of your passport. That what is Baba making you from what you were.
पहले क्या थे वो भूल गए। फोटो
Now we have forgotten what we were before. If there's anyone who has a photograph, tear that of what you were previously before coming to Baba. One day Baba gave us the hint. Mama had gone to meet someone. That Lokik, mother, father, children, that photograph was hung in somebody's house. And then Mama said,
जीवन में
in this yogi life, these photographs, they interfere.
याद रहेगा माँ बाप है जीवन।
One should remember that this one is the mother, father, and these are the children.
इसलिए
And that is why
धुन ये लगी रहे हम सो।
we should have this longing that we are that,
वही कलप पहले वाले।
hum so, those children who belong to the Father Akalpako. We are those children who belong to the Father Akalpako, those children who are going to get a high status.
राजाओं का राजा बना
The one,
बनने वाले
the ones who become the King of Kings, and we are now learning Raj Yoga. We are students.
सीख रहे हैं स्टूडेंट।
We are learning, and that is why we are students. Baba remembers the barristry
पढ़ता है फिर कैसे कोर्ट
department, and he remembers the court. That one, there's a student of law and he wants to know how he has to study, how he should become a barrister, how he should go to the court. Some who doesn't, well, he spends thousands, hundreds and thousands of rupees and he doesn't pass his exam, and then even though he studied, even then he doesn't get to see what is the court. He's not able to earn any income.
अच्छी बात तो ये हमारी है।
And for us, this is the nice thing. As soon as we start studying, we become extremely fond of earning the income.
बाबा ने सिखाया
And from the very beginning, Baba has taught us
क्लास में बैठ के पढ़ते हैं।
that we study in the class, but all day long, then we are Karam Yogis and we earn the income. Right now, we are learning the yoga.
गुलजार दादी का बता रही थी।
Yesterday, Dadi Gulzar was mentioning Karam Yogi. As we are doing any action, any work, we may be doing a job, we may be doing center service, whatever work we are doing, we are yogis in that.
पढ़ाई शुरू ये पढ़ी है।
This, but in the morning, we have studied this teaching.
देव पद याद आता है।
Because we are yogi, why are we having the yoga? Because we are going to get the deity status.
दिन रात
So day and night,
को देख कर दूसरों को ऐसे न देख।
let us look at ourselves. Let us not see what the others are doing,
पुरुषार्थ के सहयोग
but
लेन देन जो है ना
but we should cooperate,
में सहयोगी है।
and being karma yogis, we cooperate with other souls in effort making.
पढ़ते हैं। कोई
So in a class, if we sit alone, we are alone. Yeah, but then when there's a gathering of 10,000 At that time, the awareness should be that I, the soul, am alone, sitting in front of the Father, and Baba is personally teaching me.
बाबा ने आज बोली में कहा
So today, Baba has said,
बैठे हुए नहीं
even,
पढ़ते हैं ठीक से
even those who are sitting in front,
से कोई पढ़ रहे
they may not be studying well, even though they are sitting in front, but there may be those sitting at the back, behind. They may be studying well. So one has to check oneself and see what is my attention on this study.
पढ़ाई नहीं ध्यान
Knowledge says that pay attention to your study, and yoga says do not pay attention to any other thing. Just have your attention focused on the Supreme Soul. Keep him in front of you.
तो परिचय है ना
So you have the introduction, don't you? You know that who is he, how he is, and he is mine. He's not just like this or like that. He is mine. In the remembrance also, he is mine.
पहले परिचय
In first we got the introduction as to who is he, how is he. We didn't know about it previously. The soul was stumbling. One didn't know that the Supreme Soul, how is he? How is he? What is he? But the minute we came to know that how he is and what he is, then that pull came from the soul.
डिटैच होने का
And one,
वैसे मुश्किल है
otherwise it was difficult to get detached from the old world, from this body, and through the bodily relationships. This soul, which was so entangled with the body and the bodily relations, it gets detached. But how? One wanted to, but how to detach? That one's attraction is such.
कि एक में इतनी कशिश है
In that one Supreme Soul, there is so much of attraction because he stays up above, beyond all these things.
ऊपर से खींचने में उसको देरी नहीं लगती
He doesn't take time to pull you towards himself. He pulls you, and then whatever belongs to this world remains here, and we go over there. And this is really the best death that we face. Otherwise, we leave the body. Where will the soul go?
तो कर्म बंधन है साहब के
It is a karmic bondage. There's an account. It finishes an account on one side and starts on the other side. But now we have received that understanding. No, it isn't that we should finish account on one side and start another account on the other side. No. We don't want this. The soul should get free.
जीते जी लगे मैं फ्री
And even whilst living, this should be the experience that I'm absolutely free. Just as those people of the world, when somebody dies or leaves the body, they see there is the atmosphere of sorrow. So somebody dies, somebody leaves the body, then they say, how has he left the body? Look at their faces, how much of anguish there is on their face. But here, when we leave the body, we are happy ourselves, and those who look at us, the others also pleased. You saw how Dadi Ji acted yesterday. I told Dadi, will you please act again like that? Everybody was so happy to see this. We are smiling. You heard about Rup Basant, Rup. Such should be the fragrance of yoga. Such should be the knowledge. This is such a spring season. It's not just that one goes on speaking words, but it should be finished and that's it.
और एक मिनट साइलेंस ऐसी करा
And then
कि हंस रहे थे
And then she conducted such a silence. We were laughing that we couldn't even control ourselves. And then Dadiji, she conducted such a silence, such a yoga, that suddenly everybody was so quiet. And we were sitting so quietly on the table.
तो मैं तो मेरा काम
So,
थोड़ा ऐसे ही था
my shoulder,
मेरे को दृष्टि ऐसी देने लगी
my
दादी दिख रही थी
My shoulder was still shaking with laughter, but then they reminded me and said, look, Dadi is giving you drishti, and I became aware.
साइलेंस हो गई
So much of silence was experienced. And when I went to say good night to her in Shantivan, that time also I experienced this real effort making, this power of that effort making, which is being experienced in a practical form. as much as we go into silence internally,
डीप ले जा करके
going into silence deeply. This is also something which Baba has said, that as much as silence wins, overcomes science, see how those who belong
उनको कहो न बनाओ
to the science path or scientific path, they don't leave their work. They continue to manufacture bombs for destruction. But those who are in silence, Baba has given them this work that through peace, through silence, you are the ones who are taking the kingdom of the whole world. Remain silent, in silence, peaceful. Strike the arrow of silence or peace, so that anybody may be sitting anywhere, that arrow should strike. So this service is still to be done. Sister Mohini, you Trimurti are staying there. Please take this duty also. Let each one become Trimurti and take this responsibility, this duty. Indicate to each other with just a hint. Be such an embodiment of remembrance. Be such an embodiment. Then that is the image of being equal to the Father, that form of the Father. So first to make the effort alone and then draw the attention of each other, of Trimurti, and guide each other. So remember Trimurti Shiva. So remember Trimurti Shiva and become the image yourself. Previously we had a group of 6 or 7 to draw the attention of each other on the points. No other thing. Sometimes groups are made and they just talk irrelevant things, wasteful things. The Baba used to give them another name, but I won't mention what was that name. Baba would say, don't, and these are the wasteful group, don't ever go and mix with them. Those, the ones who keep on gossiping. They just make their own toli. Toli also means a group. So don't get into that gang or that group which just wastes. So Baba has now said, just as Baba has given us such hints, you cannot do like this and become ordinary and mix with the gossip mongers, with that kind of group, that kind of gang. Child, you cannot do like this. Child, no, you cannot do like this. So Baba draws our attention in such a way. So first of all, I should pay attention as to how is my effort making individually, and then when I look at the company by catching the hints of Baba, and then how we should race in our effort making. Do not compare, but race in virtues in the effort making. Let each one moves with one's own feet. Each one makes effort with one's own feet, with one's own intellect, but to cooperate with each other. This is our godly love. And this godly love, very few know about the importance of this. So what Dadi Gulzar was saying. So just as Baba, in the same way, Baba's family is also so great. I was listening to Dadi Gulzar's class. I was catching that. If Baba is good, and why is the family not good? Of course, it will be good as well. So if within the family I do not like anyone, it means that I do not like Baba as well. Once, I'll take 2 minutes more of your time. Once I used to make toli with great love and bring it to Baba over here, or whether it was in Mumbai, and Baba liked the papar, and I used to make 25 papars every day. It was just as we make chapati, so thin, wafer-like. Baba used to say that his teeth should not be used. They should just melt in his mouth. So I used to go to Baba with 25 papars. Then he would say that if I want to eat a papar, I will eat this papar. If I wanted to eat toli, then I have to eat this toli. Then towards the end, Baba was advised that he should not take sweet things, and we had to take fruit. So then Baba said, "Where is my toli?" When she went to visit him, he said, "What? You didn't bring toli?" He looked at me with such eyes. He says, "I am the father of the children, and after that I never made an ordinary toli. I am Baba of the children. You must make." He used to sit in the history hall and he used to eat over there. Then he would get sweet rice made, and he would receive it but eat only very little. He used to be cautious. Roop Basant. He used to just indicate with his eyes, this is something that you cannot do. So those who are able to catch these hints, those who are able to understand, they are the ones who pay attention to get the high status. Baba never liked this sound. He would say, this one is talkative. Remove this one. How? This one talks too much. Away with her. He used to give such titles. So, call that child, the one who's standing. And sometimes he would say, remove this one. So then, the question arises as to who are we? The ones who remain so peaceful. It's not as though that we never did it, how it did happen. It was always done and we did it together. So Madhuban, as much as you wish to learn, as much as attention you want to give, there is the power of the gathering. There is the atmosphere of Madhuban. Those who want to learn, their attention is, it is as though there are those who pick up the defects. I won't give them the name, but there are those also who pick up the virtues. So one are crows and the others are holy swans. How are the eyes of the crow? And see how are the eyes of the swan. The swan is introspective. There is no sound coming from that one. Whatever is useful for that one, it takes that, and what is not useful, it leaves that. So as much as you can stay in Madhuban and remain beyond sound, as much as practice you can do, the power of that intoxication of that will take you far. It will be of great use to you. Then to clarify this, how we have to pay attention in our effort making, that nothing internally, there should be no such feeling of any time that there's a complaint through sound. It should not be there. Nothing. For which Baba said, have the power of tolerance to remain contented. This is the sign of becoming the embodiment of that image. The Murli starts now. Sweet children, you have come to this school, Pathshala, in order to receive a passport for heaven.
आत्ममानी बनो,
if you become soul conscious
नाम रजिस्टर में नोट कराए दो,
and have your name registered,
आ जाए।
then you will come in heaven.
दाखिल होने के लिए आत्ममानी बनो,
In order to get admitted, be soul conscious. Get your name entered in the register. Then you will come in heaven. Question.
स्मृति
Which is that awareness
रहने के कारण
which, when you don't have that,
रिगार्ड नहीं,
children don't give regard to the father? So, in other words, by not having which awareness do some children have regard for the father? The answer is, some children don't have the awareness that the one whom the whole world is calling out is remembering that one,
ते ऊंचा बाप,
the one who is the highest on high father. That father is present for the service of us, the children. This faith is number wise.
इतना जिसको निश्चय है,
As much as faith that one has on this, proportionately they have regard for the Father.
ये जो पिया के साथ
The song is, the rain of knowledge is on those who are with the Beloved.
बड़ा मीठा बगा,
This is a very sweet song of Baba. So the one who is with the Beloved Father, for that one there is the rain of knowledge. Om Shanti. All the children are with the ocean of knowledge. All the children can't stay in one place, but those who are with him, they are close to him and they listen to the knowledge directly. And those who are far away, they get the knowledge after a while,
ऐसे नहीं साथ
later. However, it isn't that those who stay with the Father experience greater progress than those who live far away. Outside the Murli, Dadi Janki says she remembers and recalls the time when it used to take 15 days before the post would arrive in certain areas and people would get Murli. But now see, the facilities are so intense and that now the same day Murli can be received anywhere in the world. Okay, back to the Murli.
ऐसे नहीं साथ वाले जाती उन्नति को पाते हैं,
So they say, it isn't that those who are close, staying with the Father, experience greater progress than those who live far away. No, it has been seen in a practical way that those who live far away study more and make more progress.
हाँ, जरूर है,
It is, of course, there.
अब यहाँ
Of course, this is that the unlimited Father is here. Even Brahmin children are number wise.
भी धारण कर
Children have to imbibe divine virtues. Okay, now outside.
भी धारण
So children have to imbibe divine virtues. This is where numbers are decided. Back to the Murli. Some children make many mistakes. They understand that the unlimited Father,
सारी स्तुति याद करती
the one who is remembered by the whole world,
हमें उपस्थित है,
he is present in our service.
और हमको
And we
उच्च देवज बनाने का मार्ग बताते हैं,
and he is showing us the way on how to make us most elevated. He explains to us with so much of love, and yet they do not have so much of regard for him. Those in bondage, mothers, they are beaten up so much.
याद में रह अच्छा
They are tormented, and then they are able to make up by staying in remembrance and take the knowledge well. They get a high status.
सबके लिए नहीं कहते हैं,
Baba doesn't say this for everyone.
अनुसार तो
Of course, this whole play is number wise according to the efforts you make. The father cautions the children.
सब तो एक जैसे हो न सकते,
Everyone cannot be the same.
आज बाहर में रहकर भी
Those who are living outside and are in bondage still earn a good income.
ना हुआ है,
This song has been composed by those on the path of devotion. However, it is worth remembering what is the meaning of that song. Those people of the world, what do they know? Who is this beloved? Whose beloved is he after all?
आत्मा खुद को नहीं
It is
जानती,
when the soul doesn't know what it is, then how can it remember the Father?
माना
It is after all the soul.
मैं क्या हूँ, कैसे
How is the
आई
Father?
हूँ,
What,
ये भी पता
and
नहीं है।
what is the soul? How did it come?
क्या
This is
हूँ,
who am I?
हूँ,
How did I come? This is also
सब
not known by all.
देही
Everybody is body
आत्मा तो
conscious.
कोई है ही नहीं।
There's no one who is soul conscious.
मैं क्या हूँ, कैसे आई हूँ।
Who am I? What am I? How did I come?
आत्मा को अपने बाप को भी पता पड़े।
So if the soul was soul conscious, then it would know and recognize the Father. Because one is body conscious, that is why one doesn't understand that one is a soul, and one doesn't understand who is the Supreme Soul. Now the children understand that the Father sits in front of them and explains.
ये बेहद का स्कूल है।
This is the unlimited school. There is only one aim and object.
बेहद का स्कूल है।
This is the unlimited school, and there is only one aim and object,
स्वर्ग की बादशाही प्राप्त करना।
and that is to get the inheritance, the kingdom of the golden age or heaven. Even in heaven, there are different status. Some are kings, queens, some are subjects. The Father says,
मैं आया हूँ
He has come
तुमको फिर से डबल से ताज बना।
in order to make you the wearers of the double crown.
सब तो डबल से ताज बन न सके।
Everyone cannot wear the double crown.
चीज पढ़ते हैं,
Those who study well,
अंतर में समझते हैं।
they understand internally. So those who study well, they understand very well internally that we can become this.
बस आता है।
It comes from within them that yes, I can become that. They are surrendered.
है,
They have the faith too.
सब समझते हैं। इनसे
Everybody
कोई ऐसा
understands
चीची काम नहीं होता।
that they cannot do such a dirty
कोई
work.
कोई में फिर बहुत अवगुण होते हैं।
But then there are some who have lot of defects,
वे थोड़ी समझेंगे।
lot of weaknesses. They will not understand that they will be able to get the
पुरुषार्थ ही नहीं करते।
high status. Therefore, they do not make effort. If one was to ask the Father, Baba, can I become like this?
बाबा झटपट है।
Then Baba will say immediately,
अपन को देखेंगे
if you will check yourself,
तो झट समझेंगे।
then you will understand that certainly.
पूछेंगे फिर अपन को देखेंगे।
So they will ask the Father, and then Baba will say,
नहीं पा सकते।
and then they'll check themselves and they'll ask Father, then they will know that no, I can't get such a high status.
कर्मी चाहिए ना।
You need
ये
the
बात
signs,
समझा रहे हैं ना।
the
सच्ची
practice,
शिक्षा में ऐसी बातें होती नहीं। वहाँ है
qualifications are needed to get a high status.
याद
Such things do not exist in the golden and silver age. There it is the reward.
बाद में द्वापर शुरू होता है। बाद में जो राजाएं होते
So
हैं
the kings that come then,
को बहुत प्यार करते
they have a lot of love for their subjects.
हैं। परंतु ये तो है माता पिता।
But this one is the mother and the father. Have you understood?
ये तो है माता।
This one is the mother and the father. And this is also something which you children know, that how much of love he has for his children.
अभी तुम जानते हो।
You know this. This one is the unlimited Father.
सारी दुनिया को रजिस्टर करने वाला है।
He is the one who registers the whole world.
करते हो ना।
And you also register. You are giving the passport in order to become the master of heaven.
पासपोर्ट मिलता है।
You are getting the passport over here. Baba had said
तू होना चाहिए।
that everybody's photograph should be there.
राज्य में हम सबका
In Karachi, he got everybody's photograph taken.
पहले वाला फोटो
The first photograph.
ये
And this,
और सत्युग का।
so this photograph of today, of now, and then the photograph of the future. He made us wear the costume of a king and queen. This is outside the Murli, that this is the costume of a queen, so that we would remember and be aware of what we are to become. So he gave me the costume or the dress of a king, and they said, why? She said, no, I can't be feminine. I cannot sit in one place. I'm more like a king.
कौन सी ड्रेस पहनेंगे?
So this happened many years ago, Manor Dadi. Do you remember? It was such a beautiful dress. It was such a beautiful scene. Baba made us wear those dresses.
सबका
Back,
फोटो होना
back
चाहिए.
to the Murli. Baba has said that everybody's
और वहाँ
photograph
से
should be
कोई
there
बाहर निकले.
because you are going to be the residents of paradise.
वाला फोटो हो.
And later on, there should be the photograph of wearing the crown and accordingly the costume.
ये सैंपल रखना
We are becoming like this in the exhibitions. Also, you should keep the album, and that which is past, that photograph removed from your album.
जा रहे हैं तो ये बंद कर
So
दिया.
outside the and then after a while, Baba stopped
ये
this.
है ही
Back to the
राजयोग.
Murli. This is the Raj
समझो
Yog.
कोई बैरिस्टर बनता है.
Supposing somebody
वह
becomes a
एक
barrister,
ड्रेस में हो.
so on one side there should be ordinary dress, and on the other side there should be the wearing the dress of a barrister.
दूसरे तरफ बैरिस्टर था.
So in the same way, on one side you're dressed in a very ordinary manner, and on the other side you're dressed like in a very royal manner,
शुरू में प्रदर्शन में ये होता
in a kingly dress.
क्या बनने चाहते.
So the question is, what do you want to become? We used to keep 6 to 8 pictures.
आज बनना चाहते हो या
If-
राजाओं का राजा बनना.
Do you want to become a barrister, or do you want to become the king of kings? So when wealthy people came, or Swami, what do you want to become? There's so many status in the world. So you should have such pictures.
तो यहाँ के है.
Barristers belong to this world, but you have to become the king of kings in the new world.
एमएन ऑब्जेक्ट सामने है.
Your aim and object is in front of you, that we are becoming that.
बन रहे हो. समझानी कितनी अच्छी है.
So this is such a clear, good understanding.
इधर उस बटन दबाते थे.
So when a picture has to be shown, so in the exhibition, when all the pictures were shown, then they used to press the button as to what did they want to become. Back to the Murli.
फुल साइज के हो.
The pictures should be good. They should be of full size. So if they want to become a barrister, they have yoga on how to become a barrister.
परमपिता परमात्मा.
But those who want to be the king of kings, those who become the wearers of the double crown, they have yoga with the supreme soul.
से है.
This is with the Parampita, the Supreme Father, and through this you become the King of Kings, the wearers of the double crown.
जाते हैं.
And now the Father explains that children should act this.
तो सुना ना.
Whatever you heard,
एक्ट में आना चाहिए.
this should be seen in a visible way.
बहुत सहज हो.
It is very easy to explain on the picture of Lakshmi and Narayan. We are becoming like this. For you, definitely the new world is required. After hell, there is heaven.
ये है.
Now, this is the most elevated conference age.
ये पढ़ाई कितना ऊंच बनाने वाली.
This study is the one that makes you so elevated.
इसमें पैसे आज की दरकार नहीं.
There is no necessity of money in
पढ़ाई
this.
का सिर्फ शौक होना चाहिए.
All you need is to be fond of this study. Have interest for this study.
तो ऐसे करो ना.
At least shrug your shoulders. Not, do you understand? We don't need the money. Money is not needed for this education.
पढ़ाई का शौक होना चाहिए.
Only one should be interested in this study.
आदमी बहुत गरीब था.
There was once a man who was very poor. He didn't have money to study.
पढ़ते
And then as he continued to study, he became so wealthy
बताते थे.
that Baba used to say,
पढ़ता था.
he used to go and sit under the
घर में बत्ती भी नहीं थी उसके पास.
street lamp in order to study because he didn't have electricity in his home.
मिनिस्टर बन गया.
And then he became the minister of Queen Victoria.
तो अभी
So now,
गरीब हो.
you too are so poor now,
आप कितना ऊंच पढ़ाते हैं.
and the Father gives you such an elevated study, and all you have to do is to remember the Father
दरकार नहीं है.
with the intellect. There's no need of physically lighting any electrical lamp. See? Baba is such a sweet Baba, and how well he's explaining. You can sit anywhere and remember him,
माया ऐसी
but Maya is such
याद भुलवाए देती है.
that it makes you forget the Father.
याद में ही विघ्न पड़ते हैं.
It is in the remembrance that obstacles
यही
come.
तो युद्ध है ना.
This is the battle.
आत्मा पवित्र बनती ही है.
The soul becomes
आत्मा
pure,
पवित्र बनती ही है.
The soul becomes pure by remembering the Father.
आत्मा
The soul,
अंडरलाइन से अंदर
underline this point,
छक्का होता है,
this
तो दिल को लगती है
this thing should strike your heart, that the soul becomes pure only when it remembers the Father.
ट्राई करके देखो कैसे
Just try this,
फटाफट बन जाता
that how the soul becomes pure so quickly by just remembering the Father.
है। पढ़ाई में
Back to the
माया
Murli.
कुछ नहीं करती,
In Maya,
पढ़ाई से याद
Maya doesn't do
ऊंचा
this.
है।
By studying, there is a good intoxication. There is the ancient yoga and knowledge. And for yoga, you receive the knowledge. Remember like this.
फिर सृष्टि चक्कर का भी ज्ञान है।
Then you have the knowledge of the cycle of human creation.
आदि मध्य को
You know,
कोई नहीं जानता।
nobody knows the beginning, middle, and end of the creation and the Creator. In Bharat, this ancient yoga is taught. Now, really, this ancient is the new world, and the people of the world, they have said, oh, that's hundreds and thousand years away.
प्रकार की बताते हैं।
They show the duration of each kalpa in different ways. Some say this, some say that.
यहाँ तुमको एक
But here,
पढ़ा रहे,
there is only one Father who's teaching
बाहर
you.
में भी जाएंगे,
Even when you go outside,
तुमको चित्र मिलेंगे।
you will get the pictures. Yes?
एडवांस में कितना पढ़ाया है।
See how
बाहर
much?
भी जाएंगे,
So when you will go outside, or when you'll go abroad, you will get the pictures. This one is the businessman.
बाप कहते हैं,
The father says, even these pictures can get printed on the clothes.
कि न हो,
Supposing,
आधा आधा करो।
so if,
जाइंट ऐसा कर लेते हैं
so if somebody doesn't have a big machine to make big enlarged pictures,
कोई नहीं करता।
then get half the picture done and then the other half and then join the two with an adhesive tape.
चलाई, फौरन उठ के भागो।
At that time when Baba was giving this Murli, he said, okay, now get up and go and do this immediately. Yes, that picture is being made.
ऐसे
These days,
सो ड्रामा।
whatever's happened has gone is drama. So are you the ones who do instantly what the Father expects from you?
पता भी नहीं पड़ता। बेहद का बाप,
So back to the
वही
Murli.
सरकार कह रही है।
The unlimited Father, the greatest government, is saying like this. Are you listening carefully? Are you listening? Yes? The unlimited Father, the highest authority, the greatest government is saying this. Someone should go and get this printed and then he will glorify that one's name.
ये चित्र कपड़े पर छपाए, कोई विलायत ले जावे।
Some should get these pictures printed on their clothes and take it abroad.
तुमको एक-एक चित्र का कोई 5-10 हज़ार भी दे देवे।
Then someone might even give you 5,000 to 10,000 rupees. There's a lot of wealth, lot of money abroad.
इतनी
You
बड़ी
can print in this way. There are such big
शहरों की,
printing press.
इतनी सीनरी ऐसी-ऐसी अच्छी बनाते हैं।
They make such big, good scenes of the cities, of scenic places and print them on the dresses. Don't even ask.
ये भी छप सकते हैं।
And these pictures can also get printed in the same way.
फर्स्ट क्लास चीज है।
This is such a first class thing. They will say, oh, the true knowledge is only with
और
them.
कोई के पास तो है ही नहीं।
No one else has this knowledge.
पता ही नहीं, फिर समझाने
Nobody
वाला भी
knows
इंग्लिश में होशियार चाहिए।
that the one who explains should be clever in English.
इंग्लिश तो सब जानते हैं।
Everybody knows English.
तो देना ही।
You have to give the message to them.
माँ का सुन रहा है।
Brother Marcus, are you listening?
बाबा ने एडवांस में ये बताया है सब।
Baba has explained these things in advance. Have you
अभी
understood
हर एक को ऐसा हो,
that each one should have this longing? They should not just say that yes, we will do. They should do it so that the whole world sees that yes, definitely this thing is unique in the world.
उन्हों को
Back to the
संदेश
Murli.
तो वही विनाश अर्थ निमित्त बने हुए हैं।
So according,
माँ ने बताया है, उन्हों के पास
they too
बाप
have been
ऐसे
given the
ऐसे
message.
है।
According to the drama, they're the ones who become instruments for destruction. Baba has told you that both sides have such bombs that if they were to come together, they could become the masters of the whole world. However, this Dharma is created in such a way that you claim the sovereignty only through the power of yoga. No one can become the master of the world with weapons.
वह है साइंस.
So that is science, whereas you have silence.
सिर्फ बाप को और चक्कर को याद करो.
Just remember the Father and the cycle, and make others equal to yourselves.
योग बल से
Through the power of yoga, you are claiming the sovereignty of the world.
वे आपस में लड़ेंगे जरूर.
They will definitely fight amongst themselves, those people of the world, and you the ones who are going to get the butter in
के
between.
मुख में माखन का गोला दिखाते हैं.
They show that
कहावत भी है, दो
in Krishna's mouth there was
खा लिया.
butter. They show that two
है भी
cats fought,
सारे
and
विश्व की राजाई
and the
का
third party came and ate the butter, and you get the kingdom of the world. That butter you get, so you should be so pleased and say, "Wah, Baba, wah! This is your wonder.
नाली तो आपकी ही है.
This is your knowledge,
देते हो बाबा.
Baba. You give us a very good understanding."
आदि सनातन
The original deity religion,
विश्व की बादशाही कैसे प्राप्त.
how did they attain this kingdom of the world?
ये किसको भी ख्याल नहीं.
This is something which nobody knows.
खंड होता ही नहीं.
At that time, there's no other kingdom. The Father says that
नहीं बनता.
He doesn't become the master of the world, but He makes you the master of the world. It is through this study that you become the masters of the world.
तो हूँ अशरीर.
He, the Supreme Soul, He is bodiless, and you, through the study, become the masters of the world.
तुम सबको शरीर है.
You, all of you have a body. You are bodily beings.
विष्णु शंकर को भी सूक्ष्म शरीर है.
Even Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar, deities, they have subtle bodies. But just as you are a soul, He is the Supreme Soul. His birth
दिव्य और अलौकिक है.
is divine, alokik.
और कोई भी ऐसे जन्म नहीं लेते.
No one else takes a birth the way He does. Now, outside the Murli, if you give this understanding like this to the others, then
मानने लिए तैयार होंगे.
then the other souls will be able to accept this. They are ready to accept if you will explain them this way. Back to the Murli. So this is guaranteed.
ड्रामा में नूंद है.
Everything is fixed in drama.
कोई अभी मर जाते हैं.
Supposing anyone was to leave the body, this is also fixed in drama.
ड्रामा की समझानी कितनी मिलती है.
How much of our explanations and understanding you get of this drama. But you will understand this only number-wise. There are some who have a dull intellect.
3 ग्रेड्स होती है.
There are 3 grades.
सारी के ग्रेड वाले को डल कहा जाता है.
The one who comes last in his grades is called the one with a dull intellect.
खुद भी समझते हैं.
And they understand themselves that this one is in the first grade
ये सेकंड में है.
or in the second grade.
विद्या में भी ऐसे ही है ना.
And even in the subjects, they are like this. There's only one study, and children know that by studying this, that we become the wearers of the double crown.
हम डब से ताज थे.
We were the ones who once wore the double crown, and then we had a single crown, and then no crown later. This is the whole cycle. Double crown initially, and then one crown, and then no crown. Have you got the cycle right now? There is no crown right now, not even the Gandhi hat.
जैसा कर्म फल वैसा फल कहा जाता है.
As the action, so the fruit.
कर्म
So as the action, sow the fruit.
में ऐसे नहीं कहें.
In the golden age, it will not be said. Here, if you will perform good actions, you will get good fruit for one birth, but there are some who will perform such actions that they are full of disease right from birth.
ये भी तो कर्म भोग है ना.
This is also a karmic account. Suffering of the karma.
को कर्म अकर्म विकर्म
Children
समझाया गया.
have also been explained the difference between karma, neutral action, and no action,
अच्छा व बुरा फल
or
पाते हैं.
bad action. So whatever actions you perform, you get a good or a bad result.
जो अच्छे कर्म
If some are wealthy, then they must
की प्रारब्ध मिलती है.
then they must have done some good actions in the past. But right now you're getting the attainments of several births. one is aware whether one is wealthy or poor. Now, according to the efforts you make, that attainment is imperishable. It is for 21 births.
यहाँ मिलता है अलग
And
का
here you get a temporary fruit of your actions. The karma actions continue.
ये कर्म क्षेत्र है
This is the field of action,
सत्युग है
Karma
स्वर्ग का
Kshetra.
कर्म क्षेत्र है
And the golden age,
वहाँ विकर्म होता ही नहीं है
there is
ये
no
सब
sinful
बातें
action.
बुद्धि में धारण करने के लिए
These are things which have to be imbibed by the intellect well.
कोई विरले है
There are some rare souls
सत्युग पॉइंट्स
who
लिखते रहते हैं
who continuously write the
लिखते
points.
जाते हैं
There are some who get tired of writing their charts.
बच्चों को पॉइंट्स लिखनी चाहिए
You children should write the point. You should, they're very refined points which you may not be able to remember all the time. They will just slip away and then you will regret that this point
भूल गई
was forgotten.
सबका ये हाल हो जाता है
Everybody experiences this. They forget a lot.
ये भी बाबा बिल्कुल
Baba used to take the test
आवश्यकता
outside the Murli, whatever.
पीछे का बाबा
Did you remember the right thing at the right time? And sometimes we used to say that Baba, we forgot to explain this at that time. And yesterday at night, also we had this. If somebody said, you should have said this, then you should have said like this, then your respect has gone. So as the time, so the points. They should be remembered accurately at the appropriate time. There should be so much of practice in the intellect. You should revise these in your intellect so well. Okay, back to the Murli. So children should pay attention for their progress. Baba knows that some rare soul they would write accurately. Baba is also the businessman. So on one hand is the business of the perishable jewels, and this is the business of the imperishable jewels of knowledge. Many children fail on the subject of yoga. Very few can stay in an accurate remembrance of 1 to 1.5 hours in yoga. Let each one ask themselves with a true heart that if this is the regard, that the remembrance is sustained only for 1 to 1.5 hours. Just look at this. Back to the Murli. You have to make effort for 8 hours. You children, you have to look after the body. But then Baba has given you the example of the beloved and the lovers. As soon as the lover remembered the beloved, that one's image came in front of the face. This is also like getting a vision. They remember that one, the lover remembers the beloved remembers the lover. Here there is only one beloved, and all of you are the lovers of one beloved. He is the ever beautiful one. He is ever pure. The father says, he is the traveler. He is always beautiful. There's a song which says, oh traveler of the faraway land. This song is very famous too. He comes to make you beautiful too. These deities have natural beauty. But just look what kind of fashions take place in this world today. They wear different dresses. There is a constant natural beauty. You are now going to that world now. The father says, he enters an old, impure body. Here there is no pure body. The father says, he enters in this one's body one who is at the last birth of many births
प्रवृत्ति मार्ग की
and
स्थापना करता
establishes the family path.
आगे चल तुम सर्विसेबल बनते जाएंगे
You will continue to become serviceable as time will go by. When you'll make the efforts, then you will understand. When you'll make the effort, then you will understand. Then you will understand. What point will you understand? Let me see.
क्या समझेंगे
What will you understand as you continue to do service? Yeah? Okay.
ऐसे पुरुषार्थ किया तभी कर
You will understand that you had made efforts, such efforts previously, and are doing so again. Previously also you had made such efforts and are now again you're making the same efforts, and then you will enjoy that. You'll enjoy. Yeah, previously also we did this, and well, and now also we are doing. So you won't feel the burden this way. So without making the effort, you won't be able to attain anything. You now know that we are making the effort to become Narayan from the ordinary man. There was the new kingdom, and once again the old world will become new. After the Iron Age, there will definitely be the Golden Age.
स्थापन होनी ही है
The kingdom has to get established
पहले माफिक
just as it did a kalpa ago. Okay?
मीठे मीठे
Okay, say meethe meethe. All of you say together.
नहीं बोलेंगे मैं आगे नहीं बढ़ेगी
Say, if you won't say, Dadi Janki says she won't progress. So meethe meethe सीखे ले रही हूँ.
मात
बच्चों प्रति माता पिता बाप दादा का याद प्यार और गुड मॉर्निंग. रूहानी बाप की रूहानी बच्चों को नमस्ते एंड रूहानी बच्चों की रूहानी बाप को नमस्ते.
दाना के लिए
And all the points for inculcation.
सरेंडर के साथ साथ निश्चय बुद्धि बनना है
So besides surrendering yourself, you have to be the ones who have a faithful intellect. Do not perform any dirty action.
अंदर कोई भी अवगुण न रहे
There should be no defects left within.
तब अच्छा पद मिल सकता है
Then you can receive a good status.
दूसरा ज्ञान
Second point,
व्यापार करने के लिए
in order to do the business with the jewels of knowledge,
बाबा जो अच्छी अच्छी पॉइंट सुनाते हैं उन्हें नोट करना
note down the good points that Baba gives you.
फिर उन्हें याद करके दूसरों को
Then
सुनाना
remember them and relate them to others.
अपने उन्नति का ख्याल रखना
Always be concerned about your own progress.
वरदान
Blessings for today.
मान मांगने के बजाय
Instead of asking for regard,
सबको मान देने वाले
be the ones who give regard to everyone.
मांगने के बजाय
Instead of asking for regard, be the ones who give regard to others. Be such a constant, selfless yogi.
आपको कोई मान दे
If someone gives you regard, whether
आप उसको
he believes you or not, but you must constantly stay in your self-respect and consider that one to be your sweet brother, sweet sister. So always stay in self-respect,
स्नेह दृष्टि से
and through the loving drishti
वृत्ति से
and through the loving attitude,
आत्मक मान
continue to give that one the spiritual regard. Sweet brother, sweet sister.
सम्मान में रहे स्नेही दृष्टि से
So staying in self-respect, continue to give loving drishti and loving attitude, continue to give the spiritual regard, to have this thought that if he gives me regard, then I will give the regard. This is also being a royal beggar.
काम योगी बनो
Become a selfless yogi in this.
स्नेह की वर्षा से
With a shower of spiritual love,
दुश्मन को दोस्त बना
make even an enemy your friend.
आपके सामने
Even if someone throws a stone at you, even then you give
आप रत्नांगर
jewels to that one, because you are the children of the Father who is the merchant of jewels.
का नव
Slogan:
निर्माण करने के लिए
in order to renew the world,
दो शब्द याद रखो,
remember two words.
निमित्त और निर्माण.
One is to be an instrument, and the other is to be
इतना बड़ा खजाना
humble. So to have humility
रत्नों का व्यापार,
and
रत्नों से खेल कर
to have the attitude of being an instrument.